Firstly,
Morning, Tom.
what is a UN General Assembly for? Is it just a talking shop?
Well, the UN General Assembly, this high-level segment that happens every September, is an opportunity for all the heads of state and government in the world to come together and go for high-level meetings and also have bilaterals with each other. It's been compared to a sort of speed dating event, really, where you have these 20-minute, half-an-hour bilaterals with a whole series of different heads. It's a very valuable opportunity to get diplomatic business done in one place at one time. That's the main, really, purpose of this week.
Getting those people in that same place, I suppose that can spark agreements, although are we expecting anything specific to be agreed this week, or just sort of alliances to be emboldened, conversations perhaps to be started?
I don't think this year it's such a massive event that it's going to be some big climate deal or some big sustainable development deal. No, I think the big issues this week are going to be Ukraine, obviously, in terms of conflict. There's a meeting in the Security Council on Thursday, which James Cleverly will represent the UK at, which will be very important. But there'll be climate change, there'll be humanitarian relief efforts, particularly after what we've seen in Pakistan, and there will be a lot of side meetings on climate. But I think for Liz Truss, it's more about the bilaterals and her main speech, her first speech as Prime Minister to the global community on Wednesday.
Really profound moment there, and potentially a chance for her to cast herself as this global figure, although as a former Foreign Secretary, she will be familiar with this process. I wonder to what extent the UK will get any agreements here, particularly when it comes to the international food security crisis, when it comes to international coalitions and support for Ukraine matching UK support. Are there particular wins that the UK is after right now, or is this all about mood music?
I think it's more about mood music. It's about Liz Truss setting out her stall. I mean, yes, it's true that she went to last year's meeting as Foreign Secretary, but this is her first overseas trip as Prime Minister. So it will be an important moment, her speech, because rather as Boris Johnson decided to put climate and then technology as his sort of main themes of his international governance, it'll be up to Liz Truss to say, where is my focus going to be? My guess is that she'll be very heavily about liberty and freedom and democracy and supporting Ukraine against the autocracies of Russia and China, etc. That'll be her focus. But she's got these bilaterals.
And just finally, it was only a couple of days ago that the UN voted to allow President Zelensky of Ukraine to deliver a speech this week. How important is this as a moment to see really that Russian influence doesn't really extend much beyond Cuba or Syria and the handful of countries that voted to block it?
Well, President Zelensky, of course, has every right to speak at the General Assembly. He's president of Ukraine, which was actually one of the 40-odd founding members of the United Nations. So it was sort of independent presence at the UN since 1945. So, of course, Russia tried to block it happening, but they had no chance of success and got very little support. No, this is an opportunity for President Zelensky also to set out exactly what is going on in his own country and try and persuade some of the waverers, the big countries that are sitting on the fence, like India and Brazil and others, to come more in support of Ukraine.